great challenger, welcome back to my channel and the very last day of the 30 bags in 30 days challenge. So as I mentioned in yesterday's video, I pretty much went through every area of the house. Other areas you didn't see, like the garden, the yard, the garage, front porch, and all of that was done before. So I'm done. This is it. I have one more item to let go of. We'll talk about it in a minute. So I wanted to spend some time doing a chit-chat and doing a chit-chat and doing a reflect back kind of video. Hopefully I won't ramble too much, but I wanted to talk about the experience of spending 30 days decluttering the house. Okay, what have I learned about myself? What have I learned about the family, the house, and the whole process in general? So I did this 30 bags in 30 days for one very practical reason. I have projects that I want to go through in the house. I need to, make over a bedroom. I need to make over the living room. I need to make over the dining room. I have ideas for the kitchen. There's a lot of projects that I want to do in the house. However, the way the house was 30 days ago was really stopping me from being able to do all those projects because of the amount of stuff that we have in the house. And you've probably noticed over the years that every time I'm doing something, whenever I start a project, there's so much that needs to be moved out of the way in order to tackle a particular project that it quickly becomes very overwhelming in terms of the mess created for the purpose of that particular project. Because I have bookcase to move, furniture to move, boxes of stuff that needed to be moved. So overall it would make it much more challenging and more difficult to really do anything. And on top of that, when you have that much stuff to move around and work with in order to address a corner of the house or painting the walls or wallpapering the walls or whatever, it becomes very discouraging. And you become unmotivated because you have so much stuff that you need to manage that, first of all, you don't even see what needs to be addressed and what needs to be done because it's covered or masked or blocked by all of your belongings. All right, so that was the reason behind the 30 bags in 30-day challenge. I really wanted to spend a good month readdressing all of the possessions that we have in the house. And a lot of it, to be honest, was either purchased at various stores, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, thrift shop, garage sales, found on the curb, or it was passed me down. It seems that every time we have family that comes over, stuff is being brought over here as well. And we talked about the obligation. I can't remember which video it was, but we talked about feeling obligated to keep all this stuff. And I really don't feel obligated anymore. I don't, because this house is not a storage area. It just is not. And it started to become that. So over the years, I've removed, I've brought in, I removed, I brought in, and this whole merry-go-round of taking stuff in, taking stuff out has been going on for a long time. And I wanted to give the house a good once-over and really just keep for now the stuff that we really want to have and we want to keep. This may change. A year from now, I may decide that some of the stuff that I've kept this time around need to go, and that's okay. It's a process, and I've been saying that from the beginning. You have some folks who can just look at this basement and would point this and that, they gotta go. Me, I have to go through the process. I have to ask myself, I have to feel connected with the objects, and I can let go of them once I don't feel that connection anymore. So there's a connection and there's an obligation. Okay, so sometimes the easiest way to part with something is if you no longer feel the obligation and you no longer feel the connection. Sometimes you have one of the two that's left. You may have the connection but not the obligation, or you may have the obligation but not the connection. Okay, so you keep the item and you just have to wait for not feeling the obligation anymore to be able to let it go. Sometimes both are gone. You no longer feel obligated and you no longer feel connected. So these are the easiest things to let go of. So the next time you do your declutter, if you are starting the 30 bags in 30 days in August, maybe you want to start thinking about it in terms of the connection and the obligation. Do I have both? Do I have only one? If you only have the obligation but not the connection, maybe you want to let go of the item. If you only have the connection but you don't feel any obligation, it's up to you. But if you have none of that, then let it go, okay? Because obviously there is no reason, emotional or practical, whatever you want to call it, for you to keep the item. An example would be the quilt that I have here. Let me turn the camera around so you can see it. Okay, the quilt right here, right? You see that one? Okay, that's the I think it's called Grandma's something, I can't remember. Okay, so this is a quilt that belongs to the family. It's all handmade. I have a connection to it because it's a quilt and I actually like it. and I also have an obligation because it's a family heirloom. So that's an easy answer. This I'm obviously keeping, okay? Other things I may have just an obligation to keep it, but no connection whatsoever. And that would be, for instance, the crossing of the equator stuff from Scott's step-grandfather. So Scott may have the connection and the obligation. I just have the obligation because I never met his step-grandfather. He passed away before I met Scott. Do you see where I'm getting there? But we're keeping it because he has the connection and the obligation. I just have the obligation because it's a family heirloom. So there's a lot of objects like this in your house where you may feel, and I'm talking about heirloom here, you may feel those two things. Now for books you've purchased at Barnes and Nobles, you may have obviously neither an obligation nor connection to keep them. So those are easy fix, okay? These are easily let go. Same thing with DVDs. You see where I'm going with that, right? So I've learned that during the 30 bags in 30 day process, that there were some objects I was keeping just out of obligation, having no connection whatsoever. And if Scott didn't have the obligation to keep them, I felt that it was okay to let them go. There's a lot of things like this that would pass me down that really I felt nothing about them. So I kept them for a long time and I was able to let them go this time around. And that was very liberating, very, very liberating. It helps clarify your mind as to what you really want and what direction you want your family to go and your home to go. So the house right now is adequate. It's big enough. We've always loved our home, but we've never really put a lot of efforts into creating an environment. I think the basement is probably the room that's had the most thought into it in terms of creating an environment, creating a space that represents something. I'm going to try to do that with the other rooms. I have plans for the living room, definitely too dark in there. It's going to have to get brightened up. Scott and I are thinking about painting the trims actually to lighten up everything, lighter colors, change the rug, change, not the furniture because we're keeping it, but I may actually paint the entertainment center and do a farmhouse white chalk paint on it. I don't know, all sorts of ideas are popping up, but bottom line is you can only have this creativity sprout once you remove all the junk and the clutter that is masking it. Okay, so I've learned over the last 30 days, I've learned that there's been way too much impulse purchase, things that make you happy or bring a joy when you walk into the store and you sit and go like, oh my God, this is so cute, I gotta have it. And then you bring it home and it really doesn't have any place. in your house. So it's just stuff. You just put it somewhere. It's cute for about 3 days, and then you got to dust it, and then you have to move it somewhere else, and then it goes from one room to the other, from one level of the house to the other, up until the point where it just ends up in a bin, and it stays in the bin for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and obviously that object meant nothing. So making more conscious decision when I go to the store and I see something cute, I really need to ask myself, where's the connection? Where's the obligation? Do I really want it? What am I going to do with it? Am I going to like it 2 years from now, or is this just a fad and an impulse purchase? Financially, this is going to help because it probably will stop going to the store just for the heck of it and coming back with bags of nonsense, of stuff made in China. Just because it's cute doesn't mean that it needs to be on display in my house. Lord knows I have enough stuff being displayed, and quite frankly, I would rather display things that have the connection, like all of the things that are in my curio. So that's one of the things I've learned. 2 or 3, I'm not keeping track, you are. Okay. I've kept a lot of things because I love them, but never used them. And that's just ridiculous. Soaps that I've had for going on 2.5 years now, that I've kept because, you know, I bought them on our trip to France, and these are childhood memories. There's a lot of things attached, you know, the connection, right? Attached to those things, and I never use them, and it's just stupid because they can be repurchased. So perfume is the same way. I've had this bottle of Chanel No. 5 that belongs to my mom that she brought over because she had too many of them. And I just never used it. So guess what I've been doing every day? I'm putting on Chanel No. 5, even though I'm just decluttering. Because it's just ridiculous to hold on to this stuff for those special moments, those special occasions. And quite frankly, there's not a lot of special occasions anymore. So why not just make every day special? So that's my new approach. If I have, same thing with the candles. I bought candles last year at Bath & Body Works. It was the when they do the candle big sale where they are $8.95 a candle instead of 22. So I bought a whole bunch of them, and I haven't used them because they're expensive when you buy them full price, and also because, you know, I was waiting for the next sale. But the heck with it, use the candles. I love the smell of those candles, so I'm gonna use them. Same thing with the soap, same thing with some of the teas that I have that, you know, I purchased the teas in France, and I always feel like, well, I'm not going back there anytime soon, probably in another 2 years. So if I use my tea, what am I going to do when I run out of it? Well, it's stupid because now it's expired and I can't use it. It's lost all of its flavor. Use your stuff. Don't let it perish because you make it so special. So yeah, you have a connection with things, but that doesn't mean that they have to be put in a glass bubble and looked at like it's a museum piece. It's just tea. Okay, I can get it on Amazon, more expensive than if I was getting in France, but I still can get it on Amazon. So everything is replaceable except memories and, you know, the memorabilia stuff that I cannot replace. So those are the things that I've learned. How does the house look? Well, right now it's kind of a mess because I've been filming every day or editing every day, and you know I still work full-time, right? So I definitely have to give the house a big scrub. I am not going to film it. I know you're gonna ask. I'm not. I just need to get it done and move on with my life, okay? So the Fly Lady is gonna restart and reboot on the 1st, which is what, Wednesday, I think. So I'm gonna start that again. I'm not gonna film that. I'm gonna take a break, and then so there's probably gonna be a 5-6 day break between this video and the next one. Because I have a quilt to finish and I need to take to Ohio. But, you know, the house looks bigger. It looks more streamlined. It looks lighter. When you open cabinets, it's not an avalanche of stuff. You don't have to move things out of the way in order to reach for what you're looking for. So I really did a good job. I'm very happy, and quite frankly I got rid of more than 30 bags. We all know that. But I tend to do things like that where I really go overboard with the amount of stuff. But you know, the decisions were easier this time around than the last time. So when I come down in the basement, everything is clean. And guess what? Yesterday night I quilted and I cleaned up after myself. I cleaned up all of the scraps, all of the threads, and the table is looking beautiful right now. It's ready for me to go back and quilt. So I'm very happy about that because I've learned things like when you use something, don't just walk away from it. Just put it back to square one, bring it back to zero. And it's easy to do now because I have the containers I needed. I have a place to put the stuff. I don't have garbage all around. So my mind is clear. Things don't take as long to do, like putting things back together. So it's beneficial on so many different levels. And that boiler room, to me, is the biggest achievement of the 30 days. Being able to finally get that boiler room to be the utility room that it needs to be is just, it's a blessing. I'm so happy when I walk in and all my stuff is there, all my tools, every equipment that I need, every supply that I need. If I need a box cutter, I know where it is. I don't have to go through boxes and plastic bags and get all and waste time. I can get the stuff, do what I have to do with it, put it back because it has a place, and be done with my day. And that's wonderful. That's a great feeling. So I'm hoping you're going to get to that feeling as well, where you feel more efficient as a result of having decluttered so much. Now, I'm going to do more behind the scene. The vanity in my bathroom is going. It's definitely going. I still have the shelves on the wall. I need to figure out something. I may get a dresser in there instead so that way I have drawers, but something, the vanity is just too big and it's empty. Right now I just need a space for all of my lipstick and a space for my brushes. That's it. Everything else is empty. So the vanity is gonna go. That's going to free up space for me to finally finish the floor in the bathroom. That was one of the reasons why I couldn't do the floor upstairs, because guess what? I built the vanity in the bathroom. The vanity doesn't fit the door. I can't get it out of the bathroom. So if I'm doing the floor, can you imagine the challenge it would have been to do the floor in the bathroom? So now that I've decluttered so much, the vanity I don't need, I can cut it in half, disassemble it, get it out of the way, streamline the whole bathroom, and finally do the floor. So that could be the way I get Scott to finally agree on getting rid of the green carpet, because if I do the wood floors in the bathroom, maybe he's gonna like it so much he's gonna say, yeah, let's do that throughout the whole floor. Oh, wouldn't that be great? And all it takes was emptying the makeup. Isn't that something? It's a snowball effect, guys. It's just one thing leads into another, and before you know it, you have a clear space. So I'm getting rid of one more item today. And we've talked about it ad nauseum, and I've made the decision. I agonized through 30 days as to what to do with these, my wedding shoes. Okay, I thought about it, I thought about it, I thought about it. I wore them once, 18 years ago. I tried them on the other day. I don't fit in them, so I can't wear them. My idea was to dye them and keep wearing them, because believe it or not, these were super comfortable. They're from Nina. I love Nina shoes. I think they're some of the best affordable high-end shoes. So I thought about it a lot, and I just couldn't bring myself to doing it because they have the connection, right? They're my wedding shoes. And they also have the obligation. You feel obligated to keep your wedding shoes. Like, why would I get rid of my wedding shoes? A lot of you told me you kept your wedding shoes and your wedding dress. And I still have the dress. But I tell you what, while I'm still connected to them because they are my wedding shoes, I really don't feel obligated to keep them anymore. Because all they are is shoes. You know, I have the pictures, I have the memory engraved in here. you know, I have the wedding bands, I have the, you know, all the artillery and all of this stuff, and I'm still married. This is not that important for me to keep. Some of you felt that maybe I should put them in the curio cabinet. I just don't feel shoes belong in the curio cabinet. I'm sorry. Maybe baby shoes, but not adult shoes. Some of you felt that maybe I should put them in one of those little bells and do a little display with them. No. So for day number 30, I'm letting go of my wedding shoes. I don't feel obligated to keep them anymore. I'm still have very much connected to them. I don't even feel like taking a picture of them. For what? What am I going to do a picture of my wedding shoes? So I'm letting those go. And they will be my final item for the 30 days. And I think it's a testament of how far I have grown in this process, that I'm finally able to let go of something I have agonized over for an entire month, actually for more than that, because I've been talking about the wedding shoes since I started the channel and I was doing my closet. So yeah, I'm letting the wedding shoes go. I have zero regrets. If I'm gonna donate them, maybe they're gonna bless somebody else. Maybe there's a young bride out there who doesn't have the money to buy herself all of this stuff, and she can find them at the Goodwill for $5 or $10. That may make her day, and you know, let her have the wedding shoes and look pretty the same way that I looked pretty on my wedding day. So I'm passing that along to somebody else and blessing somebody else with them, because to be honest, if I get them out of the house, it really doesn't mean anything. It's not a minus, it's not a plus, it's just nothing happens. I let them go, but nothing happens. You know what I mean? I'm still married, and all it does is give me extra room, the size of a shoebox in my closet. That's about it. So yeah, I'm letting go of the wedding shoes, and I feel nothing about it. So that's what happens when you do 30 bags in 30 days and you really do the process. Towards the end, you realize that this kind of stuff really doesn't have the same amount of value you had placed on it all these years. It just suddenly becomes another thing in your home. So that being said, I'm wrapping it up. I am done with the 30 bags in 30 days. I got rid of one more item for today. I'm looking at this very spacious basement. It was a joy to watch the kids play video games. The other day, yesterday actually, they were playing together, and there was nothing around them. It was just them, the sofa, the TV, a few books here and there, and the whole space was just so clean. It feels great. So please give it a try. Even if you have a mountain of stuff, give it a try. Even if you have to do it 3 times this year or before Christmas, give it a try. Try to do 1 bag every day. Obviously, I did more than that, but if you can just keep it to 1 bag every day. Imagine if you were doing that for an entire year, 365 bags of stuff you let go of and you free yourself from. So please do it. I hope you enjoyed this series. I know a lot of you are sad that it's over, but trust me, there's more coming to the channel. This is not the end of my great challenge. I still have decor to do. I still have painting to do. I have a table to restore. I have a deck to restain. We're going to Ohio. There's going to be day trips and day in the lives and cooking and cleaning videos and album making. So there's still going to be plenty to look at. So to wrap it up, between wedding shoes and Edward's favorite toy, I'm going to keep Edward's favorite toy because that is much more important to me than a parachute. Okay, it's just a parachute, that's all it is. This is so much more important to me. Plus it was a gift from my sister to him, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the little chit chat. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and quilt for the rest of the day. The dust on the shelves and the dust bunnies in the corners can wait for me to get back to my cleaning routine sometimes this week. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy a nice cup of tea and move on with my life and do the things that I really want to do. We're probably going to go out this afternoon with the kids because it's still early in the day right now. And that's it. Super happy. I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I did it with you. I'm glad I documented it. And I'm very happy that it has inspired you to do the same. So please give this video a big thumbs up. Please go check out down below the playlist of all of the other participants who have gone through the same struggles than me and challenges in letting go of this stuff. We have all done a phenomenal job in making our life simpler. I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!